Coach, big game in State College.
Big.
Michigan at Penn State. Both are very good on defense and both play man coverage. Let's talk about how you beat man coverage.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's not that complicated. There's only two ways to beat man coverage, and the number one way is a matchup. And we used to, on every Tuesday or Wednesday, by the time we got middle of the week, we would study the matchups and list them on the game plan. So number one matchup, 2, 3, 4, and when you have multiple matchups you like, that's about where you stop. When you don't, then you have to worry about picks and rubs. So number one is matchup. We would say find the fish. There's a fish somewhere out there that you're better than. And what are you looking for? The obvious size, speed, and then we'd list it in order. The second one is picks and rubs, but I want to really focus on how to find the best matchup, and the Wolverines do both of these, by the way. All right, this is a play they showed just last week. There's 2 tight ends on the field and 2 backs. That's 22 personnel, 1 wide receiver. Why they did that, I was watching it, is because they want to keep the defense out of nickel personnel. They're looking for the matchup right here. So what they do, they have the 2 tailbacks. They take Donovan Edwards and they put him out here. The defense starts to panic, and then they send the Mike linebacker out here to cover him. And on videotape, you're going to see the minute everyone sees that quarterback tries to get the ball as fast as possible. Say they run a little stick combination here. That's in case they get zone. But this is the matchup they're looking for. By the time Donovan Edwards gets set, he's going to run a go route. And that's a matchup that you just can't, if you're on defense, I'm surprised they didn't call timeout. So you can't have that.
So the personnel grouping set up the matchup.
Yeah, it's unbelievable when you look at it. There's no nickel personnel. If it's a nickel personnel, that might be a safety that's going to run out there. And a safety versus a back is probably equal matchup. A Mike linebacker against that cat, that's a bad matchup for the defense.
Let's go to the film room and watch the matchup.
Remember, Wolverines are in 22 grouping. That's 2 tight ends and 2 backs. And you know why they did that? They want to keep the defense out of nickel. They're looking for that matchup. They want Donovan Edwards on that linebacker. How do you guarantee that? Because if nickel's in the game, that changes the whole thing. So you have 2 tight ends, you have 2 backs in the backfield, only 1 wide receiver on the field, and you motion Donovan out. And I'll tell you right now, J.J. McCarthy right now is licking his chops. You know why? That's a matchup nightmare for the defense. You don't want that guy. You don't want a middle linebacker out there covering an athlete like Donovan Edwards. What would you be doing? Calling timeout, right?
Yeah, I would be calling timeout if I was on defense.
So what's amazing to me is, this is backyard football. This is, our guy's better than your guy.
Right.
Give me the ball quickly and throw the ball downfield, let the cat make. The poor linebacker has no chance covering that athlete on space like that.
Coach, there's another way to beat man coverage. Let's go back to the board and talk us through that. Coach, we've done the matchups. Now let's do picks and rubs.
Okay, so here you are, number 8, Morris. They put him out here, and there's a lot to unpack here as well. They take number 8, Morris, and they move him and set him up over here. The quarterback's doing that for a reason, and the receivers. They're gathering information. They see the corner come across. They've identified and confirmed this man coverage. They have the perfect play on it. If it's not matchup, let's force the defender to go through what? 2 stems. Right. Here's what 2 stems mean. So the inside receiver is going to go from 4 to 6 yards across. The outside receiver is going to go 8 yards right over the ball. What is that? That's 1 stem, and that's 2 stem. Here comes the corner over the top. As the Morris goes across in the short motion, what's the corner do? I know there's a lot of lines here. The corner chases him. The quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, snaps the ball here. He takes off. The corner's behind him. What's he forced to do? Right. He gets bumped over the top of the stems, and McCarthy throws a perfect pass right here. He turns up for about a 25-yard gain. So once again, there's matchups, your guy against his guy. If your guy needs a little bit of help and really put a lot of stress on this defender, you want him to go through 2 stems. The 2 stems are the 2 receivers running or rubbing for the receiver.
Coach, let's go back to the film room and look at this play on video. Okay, Coach, let's go through the second way to beat man coverage.
Okay, the second way is picks and rubs. In picks and rubs, the objective of the offense is to get the defender covering the receiver to run through 2 stems. Let's take a look here. When you send someone in motion, there's a reason why you're doing that. You're gathering information for the quarterback and the wideouts. So everyone knows right now when they see this corner chase him, it's man-to-man.
Right.
They have the perfect play on in a perfect situation. The defender gets way behind the receiver.
Right.
They're forcing him to run through the 2 stems like we showed you on the board. That's a pick. And it's perfectly legal because no contact was made. You just made the defender alter his path to the receiver.
And JJ's pass never makes the receiver break stride.
This,
It's just perfect.
yes, I'm telling you, this team's operating at a high level. You saw a matchup, and now you're seeing a perfect execution of a pick and a rub.
And when you look at the game against Penn State, Michigan's been looking at a lot of man coverage. We're going to see both these concepts in use.
We're going to be there for the game. I'm telling you, that's going to be the difference in the game. If Penn State can adjust to that, I think it's going to be a close game. If they don't, I think the Wolverines will walk away with it.